Remember as a kid when you had dreams, like ambition? I'm not saying I don't have ambition, but remember when like shit felt achievable when you were younger? Like anything was possible? Yeah, that shit don't last long. They don't tell you that. Like, I'm 23 now, yeah. And by this point, you've either had like a breakup or your heart's been broken, you've been backstabbed by someone you thought you could trust. I don't know, you get a reality check and you begin to understand what's really important. I don't know, man. It could be anything. Like, you didn't get the goal you wanted. You didn't get the job you wanted, or you're in a job but you fucking hate it. Um, it's like the Dunning Kruger effect. Like you feel like you know shit until something hits you. You finally get the job but you hate the job, or you finally get in a relationship and you realize it's a lot more fucking work than you thought it was, and then you're like, oh shit, I'm better off single. And then some shit happens, and then you get fucked. And then I'm here right now. This is where you see life for what it actually is, and something that I'm taking away, like a big thing, which I feel like I'm probably gonna carry deep into my future. Like I'm This is something I think to myself. Like I'd love to see who I am when I'm 30 years old. Thinking about what I'd be when I'm 30, that's big for me, bro. There was a time I couldn't see into next fucking Tuesday, man. Telling me that in 7 years' time I might be something worthwhile. Like my goal is to just be financially free, bro. However I get there, whatever I do to get to that position, all I know is it's not going to be handed to you, man. I felt like for the longest time because bro. I'm brown in a white man's country. Uh, Everything I went through as a kid and I still am going through now. Like there's so much shit that is bubbling up to the surface now that never did back when I was a kid, and I'm only coming to terms with it now. Only maybe because I'm in in somewhat sense of relative peace, where a lot of under the surface shit has now got space to become a priority, and I'm now navigating all this shit. Ah, it's crazy, man. I couldn't see that far into the next day, bro. I was that fucked in my head. But no one's gonna hand it to you, man. That lifestyle that we all want, no, we all, as hard as it is to admit, no takes a long time. Not maybe a long time. Some of us get lucky, but it takes a lot of work. And who wants to do the fucking work, bro? No one's gonna give it to you, man. No one's gonna give it to you. And there's something that there's a lot of things that you need to accept before you're even in a position to pursuing that kind of life that you want. Like one of the things that you need to accept, just this applies to everyone. One of the things you have to accept in order to be where you need to be in life is you need to be comfortable with failure, because you are going to fail. And having a healthy attitude to failure is probably one of the best things you could have, because it's universally applicable. You could apply it to anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, it'll prepare you for it. Like, what's that quote Zendaya says in Spider Man, bro? Um, Expect the worst and you'll never be disappointed. Some wise shit like that. Like, just don't expect the best. Work towards it, obviously, but like have something that you're trying to work towards, but also understand that it's never going to be easy getting there. And all these people who are like, you need to have like a positive, optimistic mindset, bro. You don't get that shit by just switching or pressing a button in your head. You don't, you need to work on a mindset first before you do the work. That's what a lot of these guys online talk about, man. They're just like, you put the work in, bro. My head ain't even in the right place to be doing the work. What do you mean put the work in? Because even if I do, it lasts for like a day, a week max, and then the consistency goes, and I'm fucked again. What you need first is a mindset before anything. Before you start putting in the work, you need a headspace so it stays consistent. Like, I went to university partially because I was trying to escape my life back at home, and I saw it as freedom. I did kind of get it, but then that freedom of not being with all that shit and trauma just had its own problems. And you will never run away from problems. Money, yes, will. find easier ways of handling with problems, but problems and life come hand in hand, bro. They come hand in hand. Like, they don't go away, bro. They don't go away. It's just another one of those things you gotta accept. Problems will never go away. Perhaps they'll change in difficulty, but it's something that you need to accept. And another thing you need to accept is that hard work is a mindset more than it is anything that you physically need to do. If your mind is in the right place, it's never really work. It's you're just investing in yourself constantly over and over and over again. And it seems to me, it's making sense to me now that to be successful in anything, the path is usually kind of boring. Do you know what I mean? Like the people who become successful in their passions, there's not many of those people. If you're like me who hasn't been handed life at all and you are trying to build everything from scratch, I'm a first generation immigrant, bro. I was born on maximum difficulty anyway. And so I'm trying to do shit my entire bloodline has never even thought of, man. So it's a shit you got to accept. And I'm part of me is glad I'm understanding this now at 23. I kind of did when I was younger, like 19. Like I had a huge, I still have the YouTube channel. I don't post anymore. Bimbo, like 43,000 subscribers now. I'm losing subs. I don't know why, but I had something good going. But then I didn't know how to deal with it. I didn't know how to keep up the momentum, and I don't know how to, the type of content I used to make never got monetized, and so I don't know what to do. I felt like I got overwhelmed at the time, and then it was just difficult thinking of ideas, and I just got what do you call it when writer's block, something like that. I got creative block. I didn't know what else to do, and the channel crashed with it. But then uni came, and then other responsibilities, and then life just happened, man. But I feel like this could help someone. Do you know what I mean? Might not be making sense, but I feel like this might get through to one person watching this. I think there's a quote somewhere. You could probably find this online, but like the average person has like what 4 or 5 careers in their life, and like I went to uni, and I wanted to initially go for physics, ended up doing law, and I hated both, and so I ended up dropping out. And yeah, I mean, you could say I'm a loser because I couldn't handle it, but I mean, if the norm is the average person having 5 or 6 career paths in their life, what does that tell you? Like no one's you don't really end up where you think you want to be growing up. Life is just full of bullshit, and it's the consequences of all the bullshit life throws at you that determines who you are. All you can do is develop like a mentality that like a consistent mentality where whenever shit like this happens, you have a system to approach it and deal with it rather than just freeballing life and ending up like I don't know, man, Trevor from GTA 5. And something else I've noticed here: most guys, most guys, once they get their first job, once they get that first paycheck of the base job that they get for the first time, or once they get into a relationship for the first time, because it's their first time getting that thing, and because it's like a newfound sense of comfort, they become comfortable with their life, and that sense of ambition, it's ever receding because they've kind of gotten the thing that they've always kind of wanted, and now that they've got it, they feel accomplished. That's what I like to call the honeymoon phase, and it's called a phase for a reason because reality ain't hit you yet, bro. If you've never been in a relationship and then you get into one, and then eventually reality hits you where it's like, oh shit, this is a lot more effort than it seemed like before. I thought it was all roses and daisies before, but now fucking I gotta listen to her bullshit as well. Nah, man. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Yeah, man. I feel like for most people, the their base goal, whether you know it consciously or not, is survival. And then once you've got those base instincts covered, you haven't really been developing the ability to do anything beyond that your whole life because your base goal was survival. And then once you get that first job, once you get your own place for the first time, it might not be a mansion, it could just be like a studio room, bro. That might just be it. And then you feel like you've accomplished something. And I'm not saying that's bad. at all. That's like the norm for like 75, 80. But this is just a statistic I'm making up. But like 75, 80% of people in this world are probably live like that. Like they're comfortable and haven't progressed beyond that. I guess it's partially because the system's designed this way. It's designed to just make you feel like survival is your only and prior like only goal, like your main priority in life. And once you kind of get that, once you get a bit of bread, you're like, this is it. I mean, I couldn't feel better than this. I can get pizza once a week. I can go out with the boys, get a few drinks, go to the match. That's it. It's kind of sad, but like, there's nothing wrong with it. But like, for the people, like, if you're watching this video here, you want to be different. Like, there's more out of life you want, and I'm the same as well. But you need to. It's like, what's it called, man? What's that? The Great Filter by aliens and shit or whatever. Like, you need a mentality in order to bridge that gap that separates you from the people who got comfortable in life and gave up, and the people who actually made it or are making it. I'm in between right now, trying to figure my shit out. But I ain't stopping, man. I'm 23. I'm gonna keep going. I'm trying to chase that bag. I'm trying to chase like spirituality, that sort of thing as well. But that's like a personal thing. Like, I'm trying to chase that bag, man. I'm trying to chase that generational wealth, and I'm trying to bring people with me, bro. I know this is like very random and very different to the type of shit that I'd used to upload on this channel, but it might help someone, man. I remember when I was first uploading on this, and for the first 2 months, there will be like no engagement, nothing, not a single comment. And I have to comment on other more successful channels to just look at my shit and just tell me if it's good or not. And they wouldn't even respond. Like, maybe once here and there they'd respond, and I just get a comment, maybe a subscriber, but nothing much would come from it. And then um, I had this delusional sense that if I just kept uploading, I'll get a million views on a video, and I'll finally be big. Yeah, that shit never happened. It never happened. And it was only once that delusion died, and I got to just a mental point where I was just like, I couldn't live because I am the way I am, where I want more for myself, and I would always want more for myself, and I imagine you guys do as well. Taking your foot off the accelerator, and if you have this sickness in your mind, if you're cursed with this sickness where you just want more and more and more out of life, you want to do better for yourself so you can give to your family and actually build some shit and not just be another flop. If you have that curse in your head, if you take your foot off the accelerator, that's scary, man. I can't do that. I can't do. I need to put everything on the table because the alternative is like mind-numbing depression, and I can't do that shit, man. But that shit actually is scary. I can't do that. Um, I'm more afraid of who I would be if I did that, as opposed to being humiliated right now. A bunch of you are going to see me with this is my face reveal, unofficial face reveal. I've done one on my second channel, but no one gives a shit about that. This is my like official face reveal. Um, I don't really give a shit if I'm not meeting expectations. Do you know what I mean? I'm just doing this because I'm not leaving anything off the table. I'm going for it, man. Um, and I just hope this helps someone out there, man. There's who said it best? Joel Bernthal said it best after this podcast I watched with Joey Diaz. There's nothing more tragic than wasted talent. And I know every single one of you watching this video have got a potential in you to like achieve whatever you want to achieve. And you'll never get to that place in your mind where you feel like I'll feel okay once I'm here. You'll never get there. It's more about coming to terms with the fact of being okay with failure, chasing it, just keep going. Uh, It's about the journey. Like, it's easy to say and it sounds cliche, but it is so much more about the journey and figuring yourself out as a person and building these habits and just becoming overall a person of discipline than it is actually getting to where you want to be, if that makes sense. And about my channel, um, I think what kept me going when I didn't get any. any traction at all for like the first 1-2 months. Like every other week, I'd be like, "What the fuck? What am I doing? Why am I wasting my time? I might as well just work towards like a 9 to 5, man, and just get that bread that at least I can. At least there's consistency to it. Do you know what I mean? Rather than this unpredictability of trying to start something on my own. Like every week, I'd just question, what am I doing in my life, man? Like I was still young. I was 19, 18 when I started this channel, and I'd be like, what the fuck am I doing? And then you just get a comment saying like, "Oh, this was scary," or like, "I felt that your editing skills are good," or just generic shit. It wouldn't even be a compliment. I would just get a comment, and I'd be like, "Oh shit, this is something," and then that would be enough for me in my head. That would be enough to just post another video, and then before you know, it's 2 comments per video. And before you know, it's 3 comments and a like. Oh shit, that's Christmas to me. That's Christmas to a new YouTuber. Um, and then before you know it, I hit 10k subs. I hit 10k quick as fuck. Back when this channel was blowing up. Oh my god, I felt like I was a crack. It felt amazing. I'll tell you that much. I'm obviously not doing as well now, but if I could do it, fucking nobody, you can do it as well, man. Whoever's watching this video, whatever you got going, like whatever you have, that dream, that sickness in your head, call it a sickness, because the only cure for it is discipline. You can do it. You just need to start. Put your foot on the accelerator and don't take it off. Put everything on the table, because trust me, the alternative is mind crippling depression, and you don't want that shit, man. You don't want that shit.